Rachel didn't confront him the day it happened. She didn't send the emails she wrote. She deleted it. Then she opened a new folder on her desktop and typed 2 words. Start date. Rachel had been a project manager at a mid-size marketing agency for 4 years. Not the flashiest person in the building. Not the one who dominated meetings or sent emails at midnight just to prove she was working. She was the one who delivered. Every client she touched came back. Every deadline she set, she hit. She'd built a reputation the slow way, through results, not performance. In her 3rd year, she got assigned to the agency's biggest pitch in 5 years. A retail brand with a 9-figure ad budget was looking for a new agency of record. Whoever landed this account would define the agency's next decade. Her director gave her the lead. She spent 11 weeks building it. She brought in a colleague to help with the financial modeling. His name was Daniel. He'd been at the agency 8 months. Smart, personable, good in a room. She trusted him with the numbers because numbers were what she needed. She wasn't thinking about anything else. Here's what Daniel did, and why it took so long for anyone to see it. It didn't happen in one move. It happened in layers. First, he started attending client check-ins she wasn't notified about. Her director mentioned one in passing 3 weeks before the pitch. Rachel hadn't been invited. Daniel said it was a scheduling issue. She let it go. Then the slide deck changed. She'd built a 40-slide presentation. Structure, strategy, creative direction, pricing. She sent it to Daniel for the financial appendix. What came back had his name in the author field. Small thing. She fixed it and moved on. The week before the pitch, she got pulled into a resourcing meeting that ran 3 hours. While she was stuck in it, Daniel presented a condensed version of her strategy to a senior leadership team she'd never even met. He framed it as a collaborative effort he'd been driving. He didn't mention her name. Nobody asked. She found out from the receptionist who'd booked the room. There was one moment when she stopped wondering and started knowing. And when it arrived, she made a decision that changed everything. She did nothing. The pitch was on a Tuesday. She walked into the room expecting to lead it. Daniel was already at the head of the table. Her director was seated beside him. The deck on the screen had a new cover slide. Daniel's name, his title, no mention of Rachel anywhere. She sat down. She opened her notebook, and she listened to him present 11 weeks of her work to a room full of clients. She watched them lean forward when he hit the strategy section. She'd written every word of it. She asked 2 questions during the Q&A, both from her own research. Both landed. The clients awarded the account 2 weeks later. That night, she opened her laptop and started a document. She called it the file. She typed the date. Then she started writing everything she remembered. Now, most people in her position would have gone straight to HR. Rachel didn't. She had a number in her head. 11 months. She'd read enough to know that a complaint without evidence is a conversation. But evidence without a complaint? That's leverage. She wanted leverage. For the first 3 months, she documented everything. Every email that showed her authorship. Every Slack message where she'd shared drafts with Daniel. Every version history in the shared drive with her edits timestamped. She exported it all to a personal folder. She backed it up twice. And she kept doing her job. Better than before, if anything. She took on 2 new accounts. Both performed. She made herself visible in the places Daniel couldn't reach. Client relationships, strategic reviews, new business calls. She became the person her director called when something needed saving. Meanwhile, Daniel settled in. He got promoted 2 months after the pitch. New title, Senior Strategy Lead. He moved to a corner office, started running team meetings she used to run, hired 2 people who reported to him. And then he stopped being careful. That was the mistake. Then Daniel made one more move, his last one. In month 9, the agency pitched a second major account. Daniel was assigned the lead. He came to Rachel, not to collaborate, to extract. He asked for her research files on the prospective client, competitive landscape, consumer behavior data, media spend analysis, work she'd done months earlier as background preparation. He framed it as a team request. She sent him 3 files, placeholder documents, formatted correctly, labeled correctly, empty underneath. He used them in a preliminary presentation to the new client's procurement team. The clients asked detailed questions about the data. He couldn't answer them. The agency lost the pitch in the first round. Her director called a review. That afternoon, Rachel sent one email, not to HR, not to a lawyer, to her director. It contained a single attachment, a 22-page document, dated, sourced, time-stamped. It began with a pitch that won the retail account 11 months earlier. And it showed, in precise detail, who had actually built it. The review expanded. HR got brought in. The agency's legal team reviewed the version histories in the shared drive independently. What they found matched Rachel's document exactly. In some places, down to the minute. Daniel was placed on administrative leave within the week. He retained a lawyer. The agency retained theirs. 6 weeks later, Daniel was no longer employed at the agency. The senior strategy lead title was removed from the org chart. It wasn't reassigned. 2 of the people he'd hired were moved to other teams. The corner office was used for storage. Rachel was not promoted after Daniel left. She didn't ask to be. What she received was a formal acknowledgement from the agency's managing director, in writing, in her HR file, that the retail account win had been her work. Her name was added to the case study the agency used in every pitch that followed. She was in the office the week Daniel cleared out his desk. She had a client call at 10. She took it from her own desk, same as any other day. Some people, when they hear this story, want to know if it was worth the wait. Rachel doesn't answer that. She already knew what she'd built. She knew it the night she deleted that first email and opened the folder instead. The outcome didn't change the fact. It confirmed it. What Daniel didn't understand, what most people in his position don't understand, is that patience looks like weakness until it doesn't. And by the time they see the difference, it's already over. Now, the next story starts differently. No slow build, no careful planning, just a resignation letter submitted on a Monday morning that was never supposed to be read by the person who found it. And what that one mistake cost the person who wrote it